The yellow jersey of Brazil doesn't ask for your confidence, it demands your absolute belief. For decades, Seleção never walked into a World Cup just to compete. They went there to dominate. Yet, after their record 5 trophies, it has been 24 long years of drought since Seleção last felt the taste of winning a World Cup. But with that glorious history comes the haunting ghost of the past. From the great Pelé to Ronaldo, the fenomeno, from the magic of Ronaldinho to the elegance of Kaká, every young player wearing this shirt is measured against past legends before they can even make their own history. And that is the tragedy. Because in reality, today's Brazil doesn't have a dancing Neymar. A destructive R9, or Ronaldinho turning football into street art, replacing that magical samba is nothing but a bunch of clumsy TikTok dancers on social media. It got so bad that the legend Ronaldinho himself turned his back and announced he wouldn't watch a single Brazil match at the Copa America. He called this one of the worst squads in history, lacking passion, motivation, and love for the shirt. But Brazil's true downfall doesn't just lie with the players on the pitch. It has started with a grand delusion at the top of the CBF when they rolled out the red carpet to bring in Carlo Ancelotti as the first foreign manager in a century, only to end up with a stagnant Seleção facing an unprecedented identity crisis.
You serious?
To understand why Carlo Ancelotti's reign with Brazil started in a storm, we must look back at the sea coast within the Brazilian Football Confederation, the CBF. The prolonged legal battles of CBF President Edinaldo Rodrigues not only paralyzed the leadership, but also delayed Ancelotti's appointment for over a year. During that time, Seleção was like a ship without a rudder, dropping absolute disaster classes in the worst World Cup qualifying campaign in their history under Joao Jr., losing consecutively to Argentina, Colombia, Paraguay, and even Bolivia, which directly led to Dorival firing in early 2025. When Ancelotti finally took over in May 2025, Brazilian fans expected a revolution. Instead, the Italian manager's first squad selection ignited a wave of fury. He left out Joao Pedro, the striker who had just won Chelsea's Player of the Season with devastating form, to make room for the 34-year-old Neymar, who had returned to Santos and was struggling after an ACL tear. This favoritism became even more absurd when Neymar suffered a calf strain right before the tournament, forcing him to sit out the first 2 group games and play only 14 minutes against Scotland. The Brazilian locker room was deeply divided over this retirement home project, forcing the team to play with a tactical liability past his prime. To make matters worse, a brutal injury wave swept through the squad, robbing Ancelotti of his most crucial players, Eder Militao, Rodrigo, and the young prodigy Estevão. Wesley was also forced to withdraw late, compelling the Italian coach to call up midfielder Ederson just to patch up the squad. Instead of the dominant machine expected to conquer the tournament, Brazil entered the 2026 World Cup with a heavily depleted roster and a fractured dressing room. Brazil's stagnation is not confined to the dressing room. It is exposed most brutally on the tactical board through the nightmare of Vinicius Jr. Admittedly, Vinicius had a brilliant group stage, scoring consecutively against Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland, officially replicating the historic 24-year-old record set by Ronaldo, Nazario, and Rivaldo back in 2002. However, it was a masterclass in stat padding against weaker or open opponents. The moment he faced Japan's disciplined block in the knockout round, Vinicius' struggles resurfaced as Tomiyasu completely shut him down. His career tally of 13 goals in 53 caps for the national team might show some improvement, but he remains a clinical disaster compared to the devastating version that dominates at Real Madrid. Why is there such a night and day difference? The answer lies in the contrast between 2 tactical structures. At Real Madrid, Vinicius benefits from a perfect system. Where he was previously supplied by masterminds like Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, he is now supported by the dynamic engine room of Federico Valverde and Jude Bellingham. This setup consistently stretches the opponent's defense and opens up the wings to put Vini into preferred 1v1 situations. Inside, Bellingham makes runs to draw defenders away, releasing space for him. But with Brazil, it is the exact opposite. Under Ancelotti, the midfield plays too deep and lacks dynamism.
No, you're not the guy.
In the 1-1 draw against Morocco, Brazil held only 46% possession, completely overrun in midfield by the African side, and registered only 12 shots compared to Morocco's 14. With Bruno, Guimarães and Lucas Paquetá pushed too deep, Brazil's lines are stretched wide open. Although Bruno Guimarães registered 56 touches and 89.5% pass accuracy and provided the assist for Vini's equalizer in the 32nd minute, she and Paquetá, who had 61 touches and 79.5% accuracy before being subbed off in the 60th minute due to exhaustion, were completely isolated from the attack. Lacking service, Vini Jr is forced to drop deep to collect the ball, try to create on his own, and find himself constantly swarmed by 2 or 3 defenders, forcing a pure winger into a playmaker role. When he lacks the natural tempo controlling instincts of a true number, 10 has suffocated him.
Your recipe, I got a hot...
His dribble success rate plummets from 54% at Real Madrid to a meager 31% for the national team. When their brightest star is isolated, Seleção's attacking machine completely rusts. Brazil's tactical congestion and personnel fractures were fully exposed in their round of 32 clash against Japan. From the opening whistle, Vinicius Jr.'s left flank was completely locked down as Takahiro Tomiyasu tracked him like a shadow, combined with Ritsu Doan consistently dropping deep to double the pressure in a tight defensive pincer. When spaces vanished, errors immediately surfaced. In the 29th minute, Danilo dropped a pass so careless it belonged in a Sunday League pub match, which was quickly intercepted. Midfielder Kaishu Sano seized the interception, drove straight through the center of the pitch, bypassing Casemiro's late challenge before unleashing a low precise strike into the bottom corner. Brazil went into the break in sheer panic with a defense featuring 5 players over the age of 30, leaving a counter-attack highway for the Asian side's rapid transitions. Instead of reacting with anger, Carlo Ancelotti shifted the match in the second half by subbing in the young prodigy Endrick to change the structure to a more direct and aggressive attacking shape. Endrick's presence disrupted Japan's defensive lines, finally allowing Vinicius Jr to find room to run. Although goalkeeper Zion Suzuki produced spectacular saves against Vini's curling efforts, Brazil's relentless wave after wave pressure eventually paid off. In the 56th minute, off a header assist from center back Gabriel Magalhães, Casemiro made amends with a powerful close-range strike to equalize 1-1. The match drifted into highly tense stoppage time, and football's cruelty struck Japan in the 96th minute, following a turnover by Ao Tanaka near his own box. Bruno Guimarães calmly held the ball, before delivering a defense-splitting assist for Gabriel Martinelli to slide it home off the post. This narrow escape cannot cover up the severed cracks within the Brazilian dressing room. Neymar sat on the bench for the entire game without playing a single minute, sparking furious debates over why Ancelotti summoned an unfit injured superstar, while forcing European informed players to yield to his privilege. A fragmented, aging and disjointed Seleção has left most pundits and fans expecting Ancelotti's journey to end abruptly in the quarterfinals when they collide with the true heavyweights of the tournament. Looking back at their journey, Brazil under Carlo Ancelotti stands at a crossroads of a deep identity crisis. They have lost the essence of their beloved Joga Bonito samba football, yet they have failed to achieve the European pragmatic solidity and discipline. The CBF wasted a chaotic year rolling out the red carpet for a world-renowned manager, only to receive a disjointed, stagnant machine feeding off old glories. A Seleção like this is unlikely to touch the 6th World Cup trophy they have craved for 24 years. Now it's your turn. Comment your opinions, ask your questions, or drop your craziest ideas to salvage this Seleção. And if you think Brazil under Ancelotti has hit rock bottom, check out how reigning champions Argentina are trapping themselves with a walking Lionel Messi at 39 years old. Click on the video appearing on your screen now, and let's head to the US to see how the South American champions crumble.